speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barbados too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Benskop upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and on the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal him. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity.
Hey, good night. Welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benskop. We're going to rock and roll for just about 49 minutes. We're just going to be exact with you guys these days, right? 49 minutes. Well, you guys know the astronauts, they're back from the moon and the farthest that any human beings have ever visited in space. And so we want to say congratulations and welcome back. If I were to tell you that one of them is a Guyanese, then I wouldn't be telling you guys that with a straight face. So just ignore that, right? But these days, everybody is a Guyanese. Glover, for some reason, I'm thinking that the pilot, who is an African-American, Victor Glover, for some reason, I think, he looks as though he could pass for a Londoner, right? If not a Londoner, then maybe the possibility from Philippi village, or maybe from Alnis, nowhere else, right? Nowhere else. Either Linden, Philippi, or Alnis. Nowhere else. And you guys can come after me, it's okay. He doesn't look like he's from Buxton. He doesn't look like he's from Agricola. He doesn't look like he's from Georgetown. He looks as though, again, he can pass as though he's from Linden, Philippi, or Alnis Village. Come after me how much you want. I'm ready for you guys tonight. But on a serious note, they're back. They're safe, and we all should be proud. Some of you may be wondering. Let me, before you guys wonder, let me just say good night to Birth Certificate and the crew, the Tenement Yard crew, everybody watching, wherever you're watching us from. Good night to you. And so, this, who could have ever imagined that these guys, all the way to the moon and the farthest. Did you guys hear Trump? Trump said, I am so proud of you. In other words, Trump was trying to say this all happened because of me, because I like this, and that's why I put money into it, right? Everything Trump is responsible for, every single thing. So what's going to happen next with these guys? They're going to go to the Oval Office, and Trump again is going to say what a great job he did with NASA. And he gave them funding. Nobody's ever done that before. I'm the only one who did that. I'm the only one who believed in you guys. I'm the only one who made this happen. It happened under my presidency. It could not have happened any other presidency. Biden was sleeping for the most. And then while he said Biden is sleeping for the most part, Trump, falls asleep like, oh, yeah, Marco Rubio, how are you? Anyways, good night again. Welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benchop. On a serious note, some of you guys are already coming after me. But Victor Glover, the pilot, we got to be proud. I mean, look, Victor has a point. The astronaut has a point. Recognize him as a human being. Of course, celebrate the fact that he is of African descent. And we all have to be proud. We all have to be proud. So Trump is going to invite them for a visit at the Oval Office, right? Trump. Invite them. I hope he doesn't give them McDonald's or something, but he's going to invite them. And I bet you he's going to put some metal around their necks. If I lose, I will spend 1 week in the tenement yard. 1 week. Anyways, good night again. Welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benchop. We're going to rock and roll. Just for until 10 o'clock. What else is happening in space? And when I say space, I really do mean space, because Guyana is as though Guyana doesn't exist. All you hear about Guyana is oil. And who is taking the oil out of Guyana, and they're making billions and billions of dollars, and the Guyanese people, and forgive me for saying the Guyanese people, they aren't getting anything. They're getting, like like when you go for the operation of the 2 coconuts, you Guyanese would understand what I mean. And so Guyanese are given that to fetch a heavy load, a heavy weight. And when the burden gets so much to handle, like on too goobly that you got to cut off sometime, if you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean. Stop it, Tenement Yard and the crew, all of you guys. The only thing that Guyanese are getting out of this oil, apart from the too goobly to fetch every single day, it's a heavy weight. Not from personal, from what I've heard, we've seen it in the villages. People walk around with a goobly, right? And that is what you have a godynamics, not economics, anything of substance to the people. It's a godynamics. It's a heavy weight. It's a heavy burden for the people to carry. All the people in Guyana. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your political affiliation. The corrupt PPP regime are giving you every single day. We see it. Turn to your neighbor and say it's no longer economics, it's godynamics, where the weight and the burden is heavy for majority of people in the country. And while they're practicing godynamics, occasionally they just sprinkle a little crumbs. The little crumbs that is sprinkled for you to carry, the ordinary people in Guyana, it's called cash grant. So apart from the go dynamics economy that you have in Guyana, you also have the cash grant economy. So when they squeeze you and things get tight, then they apply the cash grant economy. They throw a little cash grant, they say, hey, guess what? This is for you guys. In order to quiet you down, it's like a baby crying. And then you take the bottle, the nipple, the bottle that is. Oh, Mark needs some prayers, right? So you take the bottle nipple and you put it in the baby's mouth, and then the baby stop crying. That is what the corrupt government is doing. So in order to ease the burden from the go dynamics and the politics, the go dynamics politics that they got in Guyana, the heavy burden, the heavy weight, they distract you with that nipple. They take it and you crying, and then they push it in your mouth, and then you stop for a moment. You're all happy because you get a little cash grant. Now, it is just for a moment, and then when it's done, you're back carrying that heavy burden. Whether you're walking all over Manripo Market with that heavy burden, the go dynamics policy being practiced by a corrupt regime, while others are jumping up on the mountaintop and they're talking about how wonderful the country is, how beautiful Guyana is, and everybody seems to be benefiting from the oil. Who is benefiting from the oil? Ain't nobody. Hey, look, ain't nobody benefiting from that oil other than the corrupt PPP regime, those officials, those corrupt vagabonds, and those who are draining the oil out of Guyana. And when they drain all of the oil out of Guyana, they're happy because they make the billions and you get the crumbs, the cash crumbs. And you have to survive on that cash crumbs. You ask the public servants whether the crumbs doing anything for them. The crumbs isn't doing anything for them at all because it is crumbs. And only the people who are connected to the corrupt PPP regime, they are benefiting. The big portion of the crumbs that the corrupt PPP official, they get, other than what's taken out of the country, the big portion of that crumbs that remains in Guyana, majority of it goes into the pockets of the corrupt PPP officials. And so you, the ordinary people, you ain't get nothing. You ain't get nothing other than the godynamics. Go, and that's a new word now. The corrupt PPP of Guyana practicing godynamics. They're giving you that heavy weight, that heavy burden to fetch. Do not be afraid to turn to your neighbor right now and say the corrupt PPP, they're practicing godynamics, a big weight. Tomorrow you go around by the market, where is Manripo Market, see the burden the people have to walk with. Long time ago when Pai, I don't know if you guys know what Pai is and so forth. If you know what Pai is, Painomics was good because you had something in your pie. You had money in your pie. You go to the market, you sell your produce and whatever else you were selling there, and you were able to take the money and put it in your pie. So you had Painomics where you made something. Everybody left the market happy. People left New Amsterdam market happy. You go with a little something, you leave with a little something. Now, under the godynamics politics of the PPP, you go with a little something and you leave with almost nothing. Because when you think that you could get something from this here, you walk away with tears. You walk away with problems. You walk away with depression. You walk away feeling as though you've been slighted. For some of you who have voted for that corrupt PPP regime, you get nothing in return other than a blank check, because you keep taking and you keep putting it into a corrupt economy where they do not give back what you deserve. You do not get good education system. You do not have a good infrastructure. All you get is broken down roads. You know, like cassava bread, when you break it. Well, of course, I love cassava bread. But when you break it, it's just like, that's the road. That's what they call road. Substandard stuff. They just dash it and give it to you. And when guys like Marco Rubio, when they visit Guyana, they got to bump up and jump up. And oh my gosh, Marco Rubio couldn't take it. He couldn't take it so much that as soon as he left Guyana, he spoke about the concussion road, right? Because he couldn't believe. And he thought that the road that he traveled on was built by the Chinese, but it was built by corrupt individuals connected to the corrupt PPP regime. That's what's happening in Guyana. Depression upon depression. So when people trying to nice things up about oil wealth and the people of Guyana get, oh no, save me that crap. The people of Guyana ain't getting nothing. Turn to your neighbor and tell you ain't getting nothing, right? Nothing. You ain't, the Guyanese people ain't getting nothing. Teachers ain't getting nothing. Policemen ain't getting nothing. The policewomen ain't getting nothing. The public servants ain't getting nothing. Ain't nobody getting nothing. Ain't nobody getting nothing but those who are into lemonade and chocolate and all these sort of things. They get in the lands, they get in the house lots, they get in everything. And you know, this reminds me of, when you're eating, I don't know how many of you, would eat your food. Back in the days, dogs were dogs. Now dogs are like human beings, right? I'm not saying that dogs should be, or animals should be ill-treated, I'm not saying that, but back in the days, dogs were dogs, right? These days, dogs aren't dogs, man. Dogs are human beings. You go, you see people taking the dogs to the dentist, the dogs living in the house, they're cleaning up after the dogs. Sometimes I look in the mirror and say, why can't I just rough somebody, right? Dogs, if you know what I mean, right? Because when I walk the streets, I see how some dogs are being treated. So they clean up after the dogs and clean up the dog, patch up the dog, bathe up the dog. And usually when I see them doing that, I walk next to them and I say, ruff, ruff, hoping that I'll get the same treatment, right? But we love dogs. Not the types that we see in Parliament for the most part. I'm not calling all of them that because they're just roughing things up. Rough. Parliament, rough, right? You guys are able to read between the lines, right? And tomorrow morning when you see somebody taking care of the dogs in the street, just pass next to them and say, ruff, ruff, ruff. Good night again to all of you. My name is Mark Benchap. I know you've missed me for a couple of nights, but that's okay. It's the spring break, and as a father, and parents, we have to take some time out for our kids. And so, I don't hide anything from you. I disappeared for a day or two, but it's okay. I try to squeeze things in so we can report about the corrupt PPP regime. And so I'm so happy to be back with you guys tonight. Thursday night, a beautiful Thursday night. I know it's Friday, right? Thought I caught you guys there for a moment. What is happening? What else is happening in Guyana? Oh, let me check the time because I already told. What am I showing you guys this watch that I've had for a while? These days, everybody looking at what you're wearing, and somebody might say, Mark is wearing a watch that costs how much? About 4.5 million Guyana dollars. That's not true. And so the distraction of the politics, if you know what I mean, is how much for your tie, how much for your bokta, how much for your slip, that's what it's called, how much for your bra, how much for your nose ring, how much for your earring, how much for your, what you call this thing here? Braces, how much for your watch, how much for your tie. And so when you how much for this and how much for that, the very things that we were talking about, because remember the days when we were talking about them in the PPP and those who were enjoying themselves, enjoying the wealth and the richness and all these sort of things, the riches, all these sort of things and the good deals. Nobody back then were itemizing or going after each other, but now they're going after each other. Look what watch this one wearing. Look what food the one wearing. Look what handbag the one wearing. Look what tie the one wearing. But back then we were saying, look how much the one take and do your teeth. Look how much the one take and try a thing for thing a thing, if you know what I mean, right? Good night to Anil. Right? Try a thing for thing a thing and make a thing and thing a thing, right? And all of that, they were stealing people's money. Taxpayers' dollars was doing all of these sort of things. So this is nothing new. But because some of them, they're no longer part of the circle, and you know, the likes of Azradine and them, right? All of a sudden, everything is a problem. I keep saying it's a personal war. Turn to your neighbor and say, do not get involved with these people and their personal war. Because while the personal war is going on, the distraction is happening. Y'all understand that y'all are being distracted? Y'all are being taken away from real issues affecting y'all, bread and butter issue. Now, of course, the PPP, there's nothing new. They're taking taxpayers' money and they're doing all sorts of things. Who was it? The Amerindian Affairs Minister. She took about 5 million Guyana dollars and she do up her teeth. She go into government with a set of rotten teeth. A set of rotten teeth, breath smelling bad, worse than a canine section of the Guyana police force. Worse. You know, her breath, the Minister of Amerindian Affairs, Sokai, breath was smelling so bad that when she got into, sorry that I got to take it to this level, that she depended on taxpayers to do her teeth. 5-point-something million for do her teeth. Her breath was smelling so bad that at one point you thought she was using karate toothpaste. It was kicking. Oops. You guys going to steal that one from me, right? And so these things where they thief in taxpayers' money and do their personal things. Some of them going and get stretch mark removed. Taxpayers' money. Some of them going and get nose job. Some of them going and get butt implant. Other implants, and all these sort of things happening with your taxpayers' dollars. Some of them going and get the 2 coconut cut compliments of you. Some of them go in government wearing gabardine pants, polyester pants. Now they're wearing linen, all sorts of things. Check out the fancy suits. This is not now these things happening. We have been talking about these things for a while now. All the time we talking about these things is only now I realize that, oh, look who watched this. This body watched that. The body every single day is distraction upon distraction. Next they're going to say, look who getting contact lens. Look who this. Look who that. Well, most of them guys in the PPP don't know to dress. Check some of them how they started off. And some of them, even when they get money, they don't even know to dress. They make a man like me would knock them out any day. Sharp and spick and span. And look at this watch. Whether I got it from Bobby's or wherever I got it, y'all know, y'all boy. Turn to your neighbor and say, Marcus, we buy it, right? But this is what it's turned to. Politics of distraction. Who built expensive? Who watch expensive? Who knows job expensive? There's stupidity. Every single day is stupidity upon stupidity upon stupidity. They buy a couple garbage trucks and they got to tell you, look, 26 garbage trucks going to Region 6. It's going to, what's going to happen? They're hardly going to give any to Amsterdam, as we would say, right? Amsterdam. Then I give nothing to Amsterdam. But they're going to go to Rose Hall and give a couple, they're going to go Skellen and so forth and so on. That is what they are going to do. They are a pack of vagabonds. And so the garbage trucks, remember now, they're preparing for local government elections. So look at where they're sending these garbage trucks. Big things for them. They kept the city dirty, and you're correct, Sandra Steele. They passed Georgetown. Then I get time with Georgetown. The capital city should have gotten like about 50 garbage trucks. So they give region 3 garbage trucks. They take picture, but they're not sure how the garbage, what happened with them garbage trucks. They must give it to their friends and their cronies. They must give Babita one. They must give Deodat one. They must give Kausila one, another one. And they give Dharmendra two. Right? Nothing for the people. So they took all of the garbage trucks now a quarantine. And where they're going to give Vishnu one, they're going to give Chachi one, Chacha one, Mamu one, Mami one, Didi one, and so forth. That's how they're running the goddamn country. Now we should not be afraid to speak out and tell it like it is. They're going to give Chachi, they're going to give Chacha, they're going to give Pua. That's what they're going to do. And what you end up, the people in Georgetown, then again nothing. They get Katahar. They give the people in Georgetown Katahar for whole Katahar. Hey, you hold this Katahar. In other words, they say to the people of Georgetown, you're not worth nothing. They say to the people of Linden, you're Katahar. That is what they're telling the people of Linden. That is what they're telling people of certain communities, that you're not worth anything. We're not giving you no garbage trucks. So what is the justification? And somebody tagged Priya Katahar Manikchan. Tag her and asked her why they bypass Georgetown, the capital city. Oh, they want to make the capital city into a big tenement yard, if you know what I mean, right? That is what they want to do. So nothing for the capital city of Georgetown. Not a thing they got. No garbage trucks. So what they do now in the capital city, them a walk around like, you know, them sister Mona and another one them get arrested, and them been a Wim police station, and they were allegedly said to have been drunk, and they're knocking off police officers. I don't know how much I remember the story. You officer, knock off. You get knocked off. So what this Godynamics government is doing, PPP government, they're walking around Georgetown and they're take way street, take this, take that, take this, take that. They're walking around and they're huffing, you know, like you play draft, huff. The take way building, take this, take that. The Constable building, take way, take this, take that. What is happening in Guyana, guys? And then there are folks who think that Guyanese people are benefiting, Guyanese people are happy, Guyanese people are this. They're not getting, I want to use another word, but I don't want anybody out there to say, Mark, I got to pray for you. You need prayers. So they get some people tell me that, you know. And I say, pray for me in Connecticut. Pray for me in Boston. Pray for me somewhere. And can we get a hallelujah? Mark, you need prayers. Of course, they say it in a good way, but of course, maybe I do need prayers. With all the nonsense happening in Guyana, every single night, all you think it's easy to come and report to all you every single night. Some of you might be asking this question, and rightly so. Oh, why? Like, I ain't get nothing good for report. I ain't get nothing good for say. The government of Guyana not do nothing good by. Mark, well, you behave like one Lungira. No. Hey, let me drink some lemonade, man. All you think it's easy? All you think is easy? Everybody getting rich. Everybody making something. Who now sell chocolate and become millionaire, all kind, even lemonade, plantain chip. Oh, God. I don't know. You guys tell me something. Oh, gosh. I don't know. Sometimes you guys, what else can we talk about? What else can we talk? We not hear nothing but this here, you know. I mean, I hear nothing but this. This gal from Clanbrook. Look at that parcel. We spoke earlier about Godynamics. This is a Ganjanomics. Ganjanomics PPP style. y'all already know that nothing is going to come out of this here, right? Nothing is going to come out of this here at all. Nothing at all, because they're connected to the PPP. And as long as you're connected to the PPP, you could sell drugs, you could sell katahar, you could sell, good night to the folks selling at the cathedral. You could sell whatever. You could even smuggle gold. As long as you're close to the PPP, they're going to protect you until they don't protect you no more, right? And they dash you away. And when they dash you away, there's a watch. There's a watch. If you know what I mean. All sorts of things. You could be a drug lord, send out tons and tons of cocaine. As long as you're close to the PBB, they're gonna protect you. That is what these so-called high officials in the PPP, that is what they do. You could murder, you could do all sorts of things. You could pull up in front of passport and murder people. You could go anywhere and murder people. They will protect you. They will protect you. That is what they do. The PPP does that. Well, to some extent, when you follow is when you know crab and crab bag and crabs in a quake. I ever catch crab. A lot of you guys on this program, y'all grow up a little soft. Y'all grow up a little good. Y'all didn't grow up, if y'all never catch crab. Yeah, some of y'all don't even know crab bunga. I know a bunga. I bet my life Guyana dollars that y'all don't even know what bunga is. Y'all don't even know how to catch a crab. You take the bait, you throw it down, and when it thinks on, you come out and you take your gira. Y'all know what's gira? Turn to your neighbor and say, what gira? I bet half of y'all watching this program, y'all don't even know what is gira. You take your gira and you catch a crab. And once it's in there, you hold the two bunga like this, and then you break the bunga, and you take the crab, and you put it in a quake, or you put it in a bucket or a saucepan, so they can't come out. And so what is happening with these PPP swines, them like crabs with unbroken bunga. You take them and you put them in the bucket with the bunga. And so with the bunga now, they're able to crawl up on each other and bite each other and pull each other down. That is what they're doing. The PPP and their friends, they're fighting each other. Them like a crab, them a pull matty down. You watch more expensive. You teeth more expensive. You nose job more expensive. You this more expensive. That the kind of politics them are practicing Guyana. And while they do that, guess what? You guys are not looking at the bigger picture. They might take all the land and they might give them to them friends and they might give them to them family and they might give it to them concubines. They might give it to them sweetheart and all them things they might do. And then when they finish doing that, they come to you on TikTok and they say, hello. Y'all ever watch it, Priya and them? Priya? Sorry, Priya. Priya cried for me once, you know. Priya said, I wasn't with them with what it did to you. It was bad. Really? Priya, if I tell you how Priya once cried for me, you can't blame people for crying for me, right? Good tears. You can't blame people. But back to, I sometimes get distracted, you know, because I can get a little full of myself sometimes, a bit conceited, sometimes for no reason at all. So please do forgive me. Let's get back to the politics, right? And these friends fighting each other like a crab in a barrel every single day. Today, they're going to talk about watch. Tomorrow, they're going to talk about shoes. And Sunday, they're going to talk about belt. And Monday morning, bright and early, they're going to talk about bokta. Who boxer shorts more expensive? Who all kind of thing. Who string, you know what I mean? Who bokta, and then who string more expensive, and this, and makeup, and all sorts of things. Is that what you guys want for a country? Is that how a country should be run? Guyana should have get skyscraper. Guyana should have gotten all sorts of things. On top of that, Guyana, what's what they're going to do now? Barbados, the lady with a tough, I call she tough voice. What's her name? Maya Motley. If Maya Motley come in this studio right now, she doesn't even have to say a word. Not a word. Y'all know me already. I'm trembling. Not a word. I will turn to Maya and say, do I want? Do I? Maya Motley. But sorry, but it's Friday night, right? So in Barbados, Maya Motley, then I get Isle, then I get coconut, then I get Chanchi, then I get coconut ox, then I get busy, then I busy, then I get tamrambald, then I get those. All I get is just little water. Turn to your neighbor and all Maya then get is little water. All them get little water. And the little water that they get, they are now giving newborn babies. How much money them give newborn babies? Meanwhile, in Guyana, the newborn babies and the mothers, they're so frustrated. They're freaking for go hospital for go give for let baby out. You know, in the quarantine, I say, hey, a girl go let baby out. A baby come out. Look, a baby come out. Right? People are afraid to go to the hospitals in Guyana for baby come out. Because of the corruption. The PPP doesn't care about anything. All they care about is themselves. That is all they care about. But Barbados, small Barbados like this, that we could just take a little bus and drive around Barbados in less than 30 minutes. You don't visit the whole of Barbados. You go Christchurch, you go St. Michael's, you turn back, you're there by the market side, then you walk across the street by the market, you go by that nice street. Is it Nelson Street? Oh gosh, good night to the girls at Nelson. Sorry about that, guys. I get carried away sometimes, right? Poor Barbados. Guyana miles away, miles ahead of Barbados in terms of natural resources and riches and all these sort of things. But yet, the Maya Motley taking care of your citizens, taking care of newborns. That is where you got to start. You got to start in the homes. You got to start with the mothers. You got to start with the children. That is what you got to start with, the family. In Guyana, they're not doing that. They're destroying families. They're dividing families. They're frustrating families. Every single day, you hear some little girl missing, this body missing, police, somebody died in police lockup, somebody got killed. Every single day is frustration upon frustration, and nothing, absolutely nothing is being done. And then some of y'all expect us to come here and turn a blind eye and talk about the good thing. What good things? You ask the people who are living in Guyana. You ask them, what good thing? What good thing? What good thing? What is there to talk about? Every single day frustration. Talk to the single mothers. Talk to the vendors. Go at Mackenzie Market right now. You talk to the people there. Go to Mackenzie City Constable or Council. You ask them how much the government gives them in subvention per year to run that city, where an old beat-up tractor got to drive around and collect garbage, or a horse cart got to drive around and collect garbage. And then some of y'all expect us to come here and talk. What good thing? The corruption upon corruption. Imagine in 2026, in an oil-rich economy, billions and billions of dollars in natural resources, and nothing goes to the people. A tongue like Linden should not have been the way that it is right now. But do you think the corrupt PPP regime, and I hope Priya, hi girl, selfie Priya, hi. Oops, you guys see my broken phone, right? Sorry about that. And I shouldn't be showing you guys phone too, because they might say Ben Shop phone expensive. Look, Ben Shop phone broke up and crack up, right? But Them who got into government, them get big expensive phone. Them phone cost 8,000 and 9,000 and all these kind of things. And poor Ben shop get one leftover phone. It's an Apple phone, but me draw the Apple on it. But poor Ben shop get one leftover phone, right? But them crapo in the government, them crapo who parading themselves as ministers, they're living like lords. They're living like kings and queens of the sweat of the hard-working people of Guyana, the hard-working public servants of Guyana. Look at Irfan Ali. Irfan Ali was just a little knockabout banner throwing banga. Well, sorry, I don't mean throwing banga around the cathedral. Throwing banga. Now they're the richest set of people them in Guyana. All of them rich. They got into government not to serve the people. Well, they're serving the people, but they're serving the people the wrong way. Turn to your neighbor and say, they got into government to serve the people in the best interest of the people, but they're not served in the best interest of the people, but they're serving the people. This one more people, they're serving the people the wrong way. Turn to your neighbor and say, all because of godynamics. And that is what's happening in Guyana. The godynamics, the Pacus are the ones who are running Guyana, and as a result of that, they have nothing proper to offer the Guyanese people. Every single time is somebody to come to brainwash you guys in Guyana, telling you guys that how things are wonderful. Things are wonderful in Guyana, and the Guyanese people are so lucky to have the oil. You're lucky. You're lucky. What luck who? What luck who? What luck who? What are they talking about? The only luck they're probably talking about is either Lucky, the lawyers, Lucky, or Lucky B. You're lucky? Turn to your enemy. You're lucky? Give them a lucky B. Turn to your enemy because they are the enemies of the people of Guyana. They're not given. Those crapos in the government are not giving you anything. You're not getting anything at all. And then when you talk, the vex, the bumps raise. Well, this the only thing could raise with some of them bumps, nothing else. No, not even, if you know what I mean. Sorry. I was talking about not even a pay raise. Absolutely nothing. And they want people, God blind some of them. They want people come and talk. What? At least I ain't gonna talk. When I see good things happening, I gonna talk. But when you can't see the crap that's happening in Guyana and say you want to talk, you can't talk. Because there's really nothing good other than these vagabonds are thieving and thieving and thieving and thieving. They're giving away their lands to their friends and their cronies. They're giving away the oil. They're giving away the gold. They're giving away the bauxite. Every single thing they're giving away. Everything they're giving away. And Guyanese people get nothing. And when they can't give way to each other no more, they fall out and then they fight. Every day they fight. They fight. Oh. Soon you're going to hear who bend down, who bend down. Oh, no bend down. Don't bend. And soon you're going to hear all sorts of things. I don't know what's happening. Sometimes we got to ask pastors and so forth. And so we got to, because they pray for Guyana. Lots of people pray for Guyana. Pastor Shrimpy on Saturday with his DJ program, they pray for Guyana every single day. Every single morning, Monday through Friday, we have our religious programs by pastor and apostle Greenwich every single morning. They pray for Guyana. They pray for Guyana. So don't think that people don't pray for Guyana. People pray for Guyana. And one day, we shall overcome. One day. Trust me. One day we shall overcome. The corruption is too much, guys. It is so much that it is hurting the country, it is hurting the economy, and all these things every single day. The people are frustrated. I don't know, guys. I don't know if you guys aren't frustrated. Well, something wrong. I am saying something wrong because when the government, when the corrupt PPP regime do what they're doing to y'all, and if y'all can't realize what they're doing to y'all, well, y'all might as well just take a refresher, sit back and listen to the song and understand what they're doing to y'all.
Children, children. Yes, Papa. Where have you been to? Mama. How is she keeping? Safe and sound. What did she teach you? Don't bend down. She said, don't bend down, don't bend down. Hey, don't bend down. Peace and second.
And said that is what the government, the corrupt government is doing to you guys. And then when you do, you put you in this position, they say ease and settle. So when they say ease and settle, must know is the cash grant they're talking about there, right? Ease and settle. If you think I'm lying, listen to the song and you understand. When the corrupt ease, after they done do what they're doing to you, and they say ease and settle. In other words, shut your mouth, be quiet. And that is when they come in with the cash grant.
Children, children. Yes, Papa. Where have you been to? Grandmama. How is she keeping? Safe and sound. What did she teach you? Don't bend down. She said, don't bend down, don't bend down. Hey, don't bend down. Ease and settle.
Yeah, ease and settle. And then when they say ease and settle, that's when they dig the cash grant in you, right? Ease and settle. And they dig the cash grant in you. That is how they're running that country. And guys, do not be fooled at all. Guyana is destroyed under the PPP regime. This is where they want people. They want to keep you in a cage while they run around. And you know who they are, right? They run around barking at you every single day. They're treating you as though you're not worth a thing. That is them. That is Dilip. That is what they do to the country. They're the only ones who could eat. They're the only ones who could chatter their finger, who could eat all sort of fancy things. This food here that Jack Dale, also known as Dilip, is eating is worth over 150,000 Guyana dollars. That porine leaf that he's eating from, that single porine leaf, is the cost of that porine leaf is about 55,000 Guyana dollars. Now, y'all want to talk about price, right? They're talking about watch and who wearing expensive this and who this. We might as well just put a price on that porine leaf. That porine leaf is $55,000. The little food, the thing that there is about to put in his mouth. And I repeat, the little thing that Jadeo is about to put in his mouth is worth over $5,000. That little thing Jack Dale is about to put in his mouth, I repeat, is worth over 45,000 Guyana dollars, if you know what I mean. And so I'm saying this from a political standpoint. Since every moment now, over the past 72 hours, they're just comparing prices. Okay? That's what leadership in Guyana started to now. It has gone leadership in Guyana, my friends. It has gone to the dogs. And if y'all can see what is happening, well, something is wrong. Something is wrong if y'all can see what is happening in Guyana. Because you guys, the people who are living in Guyana, you guys do not deserve the sort of treatment that you're getting. It's like cold treatment. I have a whole diagnosis. It cold. So what the corrupt PPP is doing is giving the people of Guyana dog syndrome, dog nose syndrome. Other than the godynamics, the dog nose syndrome, cold-hearted, cold-blooded. They just do not care at all. And the sooner that you guys open your eyes and understand what is happening, then hopefully reality check. Reality check. I don't know. What has happened to the people of friendship? The story like it done. It done gone. Just like this story disappeared. The people at Caneview, Mocha, Arcadia, they're done. Meanwhile, Jagdev and Irfan and all of them preparing to have nice time at the cathedral. Nice time, that's all they ever do. They have nice time while the people of Guyana are punishing. Look, oil-rich economy. You tell the people them who tell y'all the Guyanese are happy and they're enjoying the wealth and the oil wealth and thing. You tell them this is what the people of Linden and other parts of Guyana, this is the water that's coming from the top, right? This is the water that's coming from the drain. It's like you dig the drain and this is the water that's coming from the drain, right? This is it. And you think the PPP care? You think them care about anything? You think they care about the quality of water that you, the people of Linden and other parts of Guyana, go drink, go bathe your skin with, go bathe your babies with, go wash your dishes with, go cook with? You think Jagdev and them and Irfan and them care about the quality of the water? No, they're only concerned about their quality of whatever they get from the top. That statement sounded a little funny, especially once Jagdev and them involved. But back to Linden, they don't care about the quality of water that you guys get from the top. They don't. They don't give a rat's you know what about what is happening to you guys in Guyana. And then Irfan Ali runs around the place thinking as though he is transforming Guyana. Will you transform Guyana with by lemonade economy? This is how you transform Guyana? People are being killed. People die under questionable circumstances at the police, in the police lockups and all these sort of things. This was just recently, People are fighting. People are crying for justice. They're not getting justice. You ask the hundreds of families who are still awaiting justice, whether it's Courtney Crummy-Wing, whether it's Ronald Waddle, whether it's Donna McKinnon, all these people, the people they killed out in Linden and all these things, the Henry boys, Naresh, Ryan Prasad, all these people, their families are waiting for justice in a country where all they're talking about is roads and nobody's getting justice. How could they be betterment in Guyana? How could Guyana really move forward when you have hundreds of mothers, hundreds of children, hundreds upon hundreds of people are crying out for justice, and when they walk the streets, their tears are dripped all across the country because people are not getting justice. And you got to look at the root of the problem and why Guyana cannot move forward, especially under a corrupt PPP regime. Read between the lines, guys. Read. Too many mothers, too many children are crying. The injustices throughout the country. Look at this woman was kicked off her land, her business destroyed, all because of the color and the texture. Well, they get some people in Guyana who are of East Indian descent, black, like tar. I know some of them. I get one and two of them in my family that black, like tar. We call them tar, baby. They're black, right? But because of the texture of this woman's hair, she is not worth, there's no value for her under the PPP regime. None whatsoever. No value. None. You think they care? They mean care. Because all they're doing is putting on their wigs and lipstick and modeling night and day. You think they care? They mean care. They are just more concerned about their positions. They're not concerned about you, the people of Guyana. They turn to your neighbor and say, the two of them and most of them or all of them in the PPP regime and the cabinet, They are concerned about their position, nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Just their own position they're concerned about, right? And they're running the tongue like a cowboy. It's a cowboy country. Cowboy country. Drugs galore. Gold smuggling still galore. All sorts of things galore. Corruption in the Guyana police force galore. Galore. So by the time they look to take the tint off of your eyes, they got to look in the mirror and take the tints off of their own eyes. Turn to your neighbor and say, they got to take the tint, not the speck, take the tint off of their own eyes. The anniversary of this little girl, Adriana Young, still no justice, none whatsoever. Jagdeo Irfan said no stone unturned. Priya Manichan rushed down there, cried crocodile tears. She said she didn't even know them, and she went there Christmas of 2020. And she spoke at a function, Priya Manichan. Oh, yeah, she spoke. She can't deny that. They attempted to deny that, but they couldn't. But Adriana Young, still no justice. None whatsoever. Irfan Ali, they rushed there to control the narrative, to control the family. Probably give them a little cell phone, give them a couple $, and give them a little money for bury their data. And story done. That is what they want. They want to control and quiet things down. Just like they did with the 20 students who died at that fire in Madhya at the dorm. No justice, no nothing. You think they care about the family members of those individuals, those 20 little ones that died? No. But yet, what they said, they came back to the public and they said that one family, one minister per family. So 20 family members got a minister. You ask them what they got from the minister. I hope none of the ministers do nothing bad to any of the female or the little boys or so forth or the little girls. Right? I hope that's not the case. But they did all of that in order to make it look as though they care, when in fact they don't care. The survivors, they went into the hospital and dragged the survivors out, took them to a function just to take picture. And you see the little band from the hospital, they put them picnic. Oh man, how they could do that? How would they like if any of their kids in a hospital and somebody dragged them out of the hospital to prop them up for photographs? And these things. Oh, Guyana could get good under this corrupt PPP regime. Me attack Rama. Guyana never get good under this corrupt regime. Guyana needs a good government. Guyana needs quality leaders, good leaders, not stupid paku leaders who pop up talking nonsense every day. Guyana needs good leaders, good people, quality people to wrestle and take control of the country and take the country the direction where it needs to go. Am I optimistic? Hell yes, I'm optimistic. Can it happen at the next elections? With good people, yes, it can happen. Good people, quality people, people of substance, people with integrity. Can it happen? Of course, I'm optimistic it can happen. I'll leave you on that note because I'm an optimist and I know better days will come for Guyana because the people of Guyana, all the people, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter your ethnicity, it doesn't matter your political affiliation, it doesn't matter whether you swing sa or whether you swing bowl sa. It doesn't matter. Guyana belongs to all, and including those who are welcome in Guyana. Beautiful country, but it's filled with a set of pakus masquerading themselves as leaders and politicians for the most part. And you, the ordinary people, this is what I'll say on this beautiful Friday evening. Wake up and vote and support individuals who have your best interest, who have the country's interest at heart. Talk half and left half. We say talk half and left half. Jack Dave and the PPP say take off and run off with your money. I don't know. You guys will picture that one out, right? My name is Mark Benchap. I've got to go. God bless you all. Tomorrow, Wayne Caesar is going to be on 7 o'clock from 7 to 8. So 1 hour. He's going to be on 7 to 8 with Over to You. But for now, God bless you, and God continue to bless our beautiful country and even our adopted homeland, the United States of America. Congratulations to these astronauts. They're back on Earth from space. And meanwhile, the people in Guyana seem to be living in space, compliments of a corrupt government, where all they do is take the people for granted. My name is Mark Benchap. See you on Monday, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM.
Can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours a blackout, and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear in the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up.